So, why does sexual topics create discomfort when discussed in public? So, for me, sexual topics create discomfort when discussed in public because such topic is a sensual taboo that will trigger probably the people. And aside from that, being a private activity, if discussed in public, will surely be awkward. And in our country, Philippines, we also don't have a proper sex education imposed on our school learning programs. And that's why most of us teenagers, including me, don't have proper knowledge and guidance on how to handle if these topics comes up in a public talk or discussion. Our parents also teach us on how to perform basic tasks when we were young and how to get a job when we get older. But they don't include on teaching us about sex education. For they feel embarrassed and believe that these things is not acceptable for them to teach us. So that's why teenagers like me, when I get older, I can feel the awkwardness and will feel embarrassed if these sexual topics are being discussed in public. For I am teach and I believe that these topics should not be discussed in public naturally. And that's all. Thank you.
Today, I will give my perspective about the question why do sexual topics create discomfort when discussed in public. Apparently, it cannot be denied that in today's generation, bringing up sexual topics in a public conversation often gives discomfort, as it raises feelings of embarrassment, shame, and inadequacy, especially to whom the topic is being opened up to. Though in our society, sexual topics are being reflected in magazines, in fashion, music, in movies, and in other platforms, but it does not mean that these topics should be shared publicly. When I was younger, I was taught by my grandmother about being aware of my own sexuality because it is very important for me when I will get older to know about it, to help myself and always be safe. And when this topic crosses my mind, I will always think about the importance of sex education. And for me, sex education should always start in our homes, but it should be in a form of mother to daughter and father to son to avoid any misconceptions. We knew that the general purpose of sex education is to inform the youth on topics including sex, sexuality, and bodily development. Through quality sex education, it can often lead to better prevention of some diseases like STDs and preventing unwanted pregnancies for women. And furthermore, sex education also decreases the risk of having unsafe sex and increases responsible family planning and to help address the problems of the adults. And hence, sexual topics should always be talked or kept in private because not everyone is ready to hear you out or to listen to you because they are not that open-minded about the topic and the result it will give them discomfort after hearing about it. So as an individual, I am advising that topics like this should be kept in private to avoid any misconceptions or misunderstandings with the people we are talking to. Thank you.
Not everyone is open-minded. Talking this kind of topic may create discomfort to your listeners. It can be a sensitive and awkward topic that raises feelings of embarrassment, shame, or inadequacy. We were taught that sex is a private, personal, and even potentially shameful thing, so openly discussing it is seen as wrong, and that if we do say it, then society will label us shameless and characterless and so on.
The question is, why do sexual topics create discomfort when discussed in public? Well, one reason is that we live in a society that has for a long time taught that sex is private and talking about it is taboo. I think this idea is rooted from our cultural origin. During the Spanish colonization era in the Philippines, at the time of Maria Clara, the epitome of modesty and class, we were taught that sex is personal and it is even potentially shameful thing. But in my view, all topics related to sex or sexuality are worth discussing. We should be more open about it and honest about it because we live in a modern era, and I think our mindsets should also be changed because as the saying goes, change is the only constant in the world. That would be all. Thank you.